Campus protests continue across the United States. The University of California, Los Angeles has become the latest flashpoint, and violent clashes have broken out between pro-Palestinian and counter groups. There is a massive police presence currently at the campus trying to disperse the protesters who remain defiant. Police entered a protest encampment to disperse the pro-Palestinian protesters. The camp has been the site of the latest tensions. Police have also made a number of arrests. And these are live visuals at the moment coming in from UCLA, where you can see a number of arrests still taking place. Now, things again escalated overnight as counter-protesters attacked the encampment established by pro-Palestinian demonstrators. People wearing masks and carrying Israeli flags tried to tear down the camp, assaulting students with pepper spray, sticks, stones and metal fencing. Fireworks were also seen being launched into the camp and exploding. Demonstrators then rebuilt the makeshift barriers around their tents. The unrest lasted several hours and the police's role has come under scrutiny as well. Now, the police reportedly did not intervene on time, though there is heavy police presence, as you can see now on the campus. The officers who were on duty at the time of the clashes did not respond immediately. The California governor has criticized the police's response and has asked for an explanation into why law enforcement had not acted sooner to quell the violence. Meanwhile, the former President Donald Trump has praised New York's police response as they cleared the occupied Hamilton Hall at the Columbia University on Tuesday. Trump criticized the intensifying protests at the campuses and called the pro-Palestinian demonstrators Hamas sympathizers.
To every college president, I say remove the encampments immediately, vanquish the radicals, and take back our campuses for all of the normal students who want a safe place from which to learn. But when you see that video of raging lunatics and Hamas sympathizers at Columbia and other colleges, no, but when you look at it, I say, where did these people come from? I don't know people like that. I mean, I deal with a lot of people. Where do they come from?
And well, our correspondent Susan Terani is now joining us for the very latest on the phone line for what's happening on the ground. And Susan, tell us a little bit more about what happened at the campuses, those violent scenes, and the California governor saying that the police were slow to act. Clearly divisive politics playing out within campuses.
Yeah, as we saw those really disturbing footages, you see that these encampments are borderline anarchy at this point. One of their demands at UCLA was to dismantle the university's security, which that was a big cause for concern. UCLA reportedly called for people to disperse or face arrest. They issued an alert shortly before 3 a.m. This morning asking students to avoid the encampment area. That didn't happen, and now we are seeing that law enforcement officers have indeed pushed further into the UCLA encampment site. And a group of officers going through one of the halls, a building directly next to the encampment, to make their way into the encampment site. We did see a number of law enforcement fire what appears to be rubber bullets, but this hasn't been confirmed yet. This is from the images, and some news outlets here in the United States are reporting that. But UCLA is one of many campuses that has really morphed into something more than a peaceful protest. I do want to say here in New York, this morning we heard that the NYPD will put out roughly the number of students that were arrested at Columbia and non-students. And a lot of the people, they said this is just what they said. They said a lot of the people that they booked and arrested and were held overnight didn't even live in New York State. So not only were they not students, they weren't even residents of New York. So we're waiting for that as well. It'll be very interesting to see, the ratio of students and non-students at these protests.
And Susan, we haven't seen these kind of street protests or campus protests in America in a very long time, clearly. But also we heard Donald Trump there saying that these are lunatics they're supporting, the Hamas militants. What kind of political responses are coming there from the Democrats and Republicans to what's happening in campuses?
Yeah, I think there's this morning and yesterday after Columbia, there's this unified voice really coming from Washington, and not just the former president, that going too far was to, first of all, raise the Hezbollah flag, also put a banner of Intifada, which, as you know well, in Islam it means basically to conquer and to take over even by means of violence. So those banners and those flags, and then there was reports of the wife of an individual who's on America's most wanted terror list was also at the encampments in Columbia. So we see these infiltrations. It's not necessarily just the students, it's how these students have been guided so far and how organized they have been that has been a cause for concern. And there are, I was at Columbia and I was at Fordham yesterday. You cannot deny that there are anti-Jewish sentiments and slurs constantly going on amongst these protests. Now, we don't know if there are the students that are saying this or outside agitators, but this is a cause for concern. And anti-Semitism really is something that has concerned Washington as well, because there was a bill yesterday, a resolution passed against anti-Semitism on Capitol Hill. So, there are the minority Democrats who, like Ilhan Omar, who's a Muslim, and the so-called squad that say peaceful protests, and these protests are peaceful. But I think the majority are just concerned about the security aspect of these protests now. Yeah.
Right, Susan. Thanks very much indeed for joining us with the very latest on what's happening in American campuses there. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.